Hello and hi, my name is Ahmad Imanul Hakim bin Ahmad Nasri, and today I want to explain about the dynamic. So, what is dynamic? So actually the dynamic is the study of bodies in motion and describing motion and explaining its cause. So dynamic is divided into two, which is kinematics and kinetics. Kinematics is concerned with the geometric aspect of motion, and kinetic is concerned with the force causing the motion. So, kinematic has a position, velocity, and acceleration. For the position of a particle at any instance relative to the origin O is defined by the position vector r and the position scalar s. So, for the displacement is defined by a change in position. For to get the total or delta s equals to s prime minus s, and to get the total of r or delta r is r prime minus r. So for the velocity is the position of a particle. So to get the v average, we must use the formula r over t, and for the instantaneous velocity, v equals to dr over dt. For the speed magnitude of the velocity, v equals to ds over dt, and the average velocity is v equals to st over t. And for the acceleration means the rate of change of a particle, and average acceleration is defined by the total distance traveled divided by elapsed time. So here, acceleration equals to dv over dt for a vector form and for the scalar form, and the acceleration can be simplified simply by ads equals to v dv. And for the relationship between position, velocity, and acceleration, we can use differentiation to get the velocity and acceleration from the position. So, as an example, to get the velocity, we must differentiate the position, which is ds over dt. And to get the acceleration, we must differentiate the velocity, equals to dv over dt or v dv over ds. So, for the integration, is we should integrate acceleration for velocity and position. So if we want velocity or we want position, we must integrate acceleration. So as example, for the velocity, we must integrate the acceleration, and for the position, we must integrate the velocity. So for the next is kinetics. So kinetics is a studies movement under the influence of force. Therefore, the cause of the motion is taken into consideration. So to describe the spatial and temporal evolution of a mechanical system acted on by external force, we use equation of motion. This generally comprise a system of second-order differential equation. So basically, kinetics are primarily based on a Newton law of motion. So for the first law of motion is a principle or law of inertia. So first law states that without external force, a body remains at rest or in rectilinear uniform motion. Or inertia, the body only changes its states of motion under the action of external forces. So this is for the first order, and for the second order, the acting force of and the acceleration achieved by proportional to each other. The ratio of the acting force to the acceleration achieved is constant for every body and equals its mass. So this is means by the principle of action, and the fundamental law of dynamics for the second law is force equals to mass dot acceleration, or F equals to m dot a. So for the third law, principle of reaction or interaction. So reaction force between two mass points are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, and collinear. So the Newton's fundamental law is equal to F equals to m dot a. So for the mass moment of inertia, if the rotational motion of a rigid body about a given axis is changed, the body resists the change. This resistance is given by the mass moment of inertia. Here, the behavior of the body depends on its mass and its distribution relative to the axis of rotation. Both the mass and its distribution must be known to calculate the mass moment of inertia. So, the formula of the moment of inertia is equals to J equals to M over alpha. So, this basically the things that includes in the kinetics. And so, for the objective of my group cases is to determine the forces needed to apply to reach the destination in a time frame. So for the further explanation of my case, my friend will explain it. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Rashid student 076. Today I will explain about the case that we choose for our assignment. So, things that I will explain today is I will explain about the case and why we choose the case. And second, I will explain about the objective of the case or what we want to find about the case. Then the third one is the application that we use to show that to show the problems in our topic. So this the application of the case is luggage. It's involving internal and external forces acting on it, and it involves the kinematic and kinetic problem. So if you look at this luggage, then you can tell that these forces acting on it. So in our case, there will be an external forces acting on it. This picture only internal forces, and you can tell that there is friction between the floor and the luggage, and the normal forces and the mass of the luggage. So explain now about the case. This is our case for the assignment. The man just arrived and late for his flight, and the luggage the mass of luggage is 20 kilogram, and the person is pulling the luggage with 60 degree from the ground, and he only have 10 minutes to arrive at the departure ward with the distance between where he's standing and the departure ward is at 800 meters. So this is the force that been applied with the time. So this is the time dependent force, and the calculation that we need in our case is the acceleration that the man need to reach on time. So he have to reach in 10 minutes. So we need to calculate how much he need to accelerate in order to arrive at the departure port on time. So the normal force acting on the luggage, the friction force between the floor and the luggage, and the force applied on the luggage, which means the force applied by the man on the luggage. So that's we need to solve the case. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Muhammad Abdul. I will explain about the free body diagram. So, here will be a applied force when the person is pulling the luggage, and there will be a friction, the opposite to the direction of the person walking, and the upward force will be the normal force, and the opposite will be the gravity force. And also the uh, uh, angle between the floor and the force acting over it.
Assalamualaikum and hello, my name is Fatwa Media KIB 190708. In this video, I want to explain to you my dynamics assignments part is the calculation from the case that chosen by our group 10. So let's move on into the the way that I calculate this case. First step from this calculation is to calculate the applied force. We know that the equation of the applied force is shown in the graph that appear in the part of case that chosen. So this is the equation that we got from the graph. After we analyze the graph, F applied is equal to 1/4 T plus 20 Newton. Second, then with T is in seconds, so in our case, the T is equal to 10 minutes. We have to change this minute into the seconds. So after we got it, we have to plug into the equation, and then we got the F applied is equal to 170 Newton. Okay. Second, the calculation using kinematic force. Okay. Since in our case, when T is equal to 10 minutes, the S is equal to 800, and then the V0 is equal to 0. So we can get this acceleration. Hence, we solve it mathematically, and then we got it this one, 2 times 10 minus 3 meter per second square. Then third part is the calculation using rectangular components. So if you want to use this one, you have to analyze the FBD, or free body diagram. So in our free body diagram, we have the two axes. There is the y-axis and also the x-axis. For the y-axis, actually there is the AY here, but since our displacement is into the x-axis, we do not have the AY, so I will make it into the 0. And then the sigma Fy is equal to 0. This is the force that apply in y-axis. Hence, we get the normal force. This one is equal to 48.975 Newton. Second is Fx equals to ma. This is the displacement axis, so we have the A in here. A acceleration that we got earlier, you can plug in here. Then we got the Ff in here is equal to friction force. Hence, we get the friction force is equal to 84.96 Newton. Hence, this is the last part. This is the summary. The summary is very related to the objective that chosen by our group. So the objective that chosen by our group first is search the acceleration. We got the acceleration in this case is 0.02 or 2 times 10 minus 3 meter per second square. We got it from the calculation using kinematic force. Second is the search the normal force. We got it, the normal force is equal to 48.975. We got it from the calculation using rectangular components. Third is the applied force. For this case is equal to 170. We got it in the first part of the calculation is to calculate the applied force. The last one, determine whether the block is stop or accelerate. As we know, since our frictional force is bigger than frictional static maximum's amount, the 19.75, we got it from the 0.4 and 0.4 times the normal force, and then we got it this one, 19.75. Hence, the frictional force is more bigger than 19.75. It means the luggage or the bag that we pull is accelerate. Okay, that's all from me, and that's all from the group 10. Thank you for watching this. Assalamualaikum.
Hello, my name is Zadnin Harith, and I'm the editor for the video. I would like to say big thanks to everyone who watched the video, and please leave a like.